The big science on Brainiac tonight. How to make perfect toast the lazy man's way. NASA, eat your heart out. We join the space race with shopping trolleys. We ask which food produces the smelliest. And can Brainiac boffin John Tickle
Here we go.
walk on custard? At Brainiac, we don't believe in muesli and low-fat grapefruit. We like a man's breakfast, and we like it on a grand scale. Science makes a man hungry, and a hungry man needs toast. Lots of it. The best commercial toaster can do 6 slices in 1 minute, but can we do better than that? Ooh, I think so. Toasters, who needs them? We've got this much bread, we need a flamethrower. At a temperature of around 130 degrees C, this won't take long. Browned to a cinder, just how we like it. Perfect wrapped round some dead pig and a yolky egg.
Hi, we are the Chickers, and you are watching Brainiac. Chicky, chicky.
I love to come down here to the park on my day off. It's a great place to have a stroll and just clear your head of day-to-day clutter. At times like this, I find my mind starts to wander to the bigger questions in life, the eternal conundrums that have faced mankind since the dawn of time. Like, which food produces the smelliest fart?
Which food do you think produces the smelliest fart?
Onions.
Cheese.
Baked beans?
Definitely beans. Gotta be chickpeas. Curry or something, I suppose.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Cabbage, definitely.
Bread?
Opinions, though, are like bottoms. Everyone has one. We at Brainiac are in search of fact. 4 people, 4 diets. Who will have the whiffiest bottom burp?
My name is Aaron Kidd, and this week I've been mostly eating baked beans.
No one is in any doubt about the gas-inducing properties of the humble baked bean. Distinctive in both noise and volume of gas, hot or cold, beans will always be a front runner in this field.
My name is Nigel Brown, and this week I've been mostly drinking fizzy drinks.
Fizzy drinks are, of course, particularly good for range and propulsion. After all, there's no point in creating an air biscuit if no one's going to smell it.
My name is John Davies, and this week I've been mostly eating Brussels sprouts.
Sprouts are a bit of a dark horse, full of fibre and hard to digest. They'll ferment longer in the stomach and should have a strong presence.
My name is Yvonne Walsh, and this week I've been mostly eating eggs.
Eggs, of course, provide a lot of smell. Silent but deadly is the motif here, and they are assuredly long on flavour. Trumping on command is a great skill. However, not everyone can do it. So we're going to get those gases moving with the help of a yoga instructor. Relaxation is the key here, especially the muscles and sinews of the bowel area.
And just rock gently backwards and forwards. There's no need to be embarrassed because everything releases during yoga.
Yoga is, of course, particularly good at stimulating wind, as any yogi will attest. Together with the finest gas-inducing nourishment, it's just a matter of time before the wind will out.
Again, this is particularly good for relaxing the buttocks and the thighs. So really think about relaxing and letting everything go. OK, if everyone wants to close their eyes, and we're going to practice the full breathing.
And now we wait. We've asked our volunteers to signal with the raise of a hand when they feel there may be something about to happen. Ah, it appears that something is on the way. We've set up a separate area for our subjects to express themselves. Brainiac Joe arrived for work late 2 days last week, so we've made it his job to smell each trouser trumpet and give it a score out of 10. Farts are actually produced as a result of bacterial activity in the large intestine. When undigested food is fermented, it releases the gases nitrogen, carbon dioxide, oxygen, methane, and hydrogen sulfide. The last three are produced in quite small amounts, and it's the hydrogen sulfide which causes the smell. It's a rarely known fact that only 1 in 3 people actually produce methane in their bottom burbs. It's also believed to be hereditary. Methane and oxygen are both inflammable, and as every schoolboy knows, they can produce quite an impressive jet of flame. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes for a trump to make its way from the large intestine to the bottom area. It's believed that people emit wind in both of its forms around 10 to 15 times a day.
OK, well done. That's the session over.
While our subjects go for a well-earned rest, it's time to get a considered judgment.
OK, so tell me about the first one, beans.
Beans, quite a slow start with the beans, not much longevity on the smell, but once it rose, it was quite a potent sting. Smelled a bit like a hermit's ear muff, if you know what I mean.
Hermit's ear muff?
Yeah.
So, what about the noise?
The noise, like a broken lawnmower engine. When you pull it out, it doesn't quite get there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But did it get there? Did it get to the nose?
Eventually.
Not one to take home to meet the parents?
No.
OK. Tell me about farter number 2, eggs.
Eggs, yeah, rancid. Sort of like sucking sick through a wet sock. Not very nice at all, really.
And sulphur versus methane content?
Definitely a winner on the methane there.
Oh, methane positive?
Yeah.
Any noise? A small squeak?
Not much noise, no. Silent but
violent, perhaps.
That's right.
Tell me about farter number 3, sprouts.
Quite a hard-hitting, in-your-face smell. Thwack, if you know what I mean. You can proper smell that one.
Enough to ruin a nose?
Ruin a dinner party.
Interesting.
Yeah. Something I had to stand back.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Watch out at Christmas. And tell me about fizzy drinks.
One of those wet farts, really, but there wasn't much there. Sort of dripped down the leg, but it didn't rise, if you know what I mean.
Oh, a fader?
A fader, yeah.
Classic fader.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a damp squib for fizzy drinks.
Yeah. Bit of a no-no on that one.
Interesting.
Time's up, so which food is judged to have supplied the smelliest fart?
We have the results. Aaron Kidd.
Beans.
5. Yvonne Walsh.
Eggs.
8. John Davis.
Sprouts.
9. Nigel Brown.
Fizzy drinks.
3.
And there you go. It was nip and tuck all the way, but it's official. Sprouts produce the smelliest fart.
Life is all about taking chances. Can I get across this road without being run over? Should I buy a lottery ticket? Can I park my bike there without it getting nicked? Whatever. So, how good are we at working out risks and probability?
3 Brainiac golfers, a small hole, a shed load of golf balls. What are the chances of one of them getting a hole-in-one? An average golfer probably has about 700 tries at a hole-in-one over his lifetime, but most never get one. The bookies reckon the odds are 300 to 1. It's not a precise calculation of the chances, but they need to make it an attractive enough proposition for us to part with our money. We reckon even rubbish golfers like these three will get one if they hit enough balls. They've got the best clubs money can buy. None of them has got a hole-in-one before, but then none of them has ever hit so many balls in one go at the same green. We're so confident, we're putting our money where our mouth is and are gambling a month's beer money on them to do it.
Can I place a bet on a Brainiac getting a hole-in-one, please? Yep.
Meanwhile, here's a question. If you take 23 people, what are the chances of 2 of them sharing the same birthday?
1,000 to 1.
1 in 700.
No chance, I would have thought.
500 to 1. Very, very slim.
2,000 to 1, roughly.
50-50, I haven't got a clue.
Well, yes, surprisingly, he's right. If you have 23 people, the chances of 2 of them sharing the same birthday is roughly 1 in 2, 50-50. Our Brainiac golfers are still whacking balls in the name of science. No hole-in-one yet, but we'll see how they're getting on later in the show. In 1997, Thrust SSC became the fastest vehicle on land. It had the power of 1,000 Ford Escorts and travelled at over 700 miles an hour. Now, to achieve this, it required 2 turbojets with enormous amounts of thrust, not to mention the thousands of man-hours and years of dedication to design and build it. Most of this, of course, is out of reach of the ordinary man. But as with most science, the principles remain the same. So, today, we may not break any land speed records, but we might break some Brainiacs. Taking our inspiration from jet engines, which provide thrust, we've kitted each of these trolleys out with a different type of extinguisher. Trolley 1 has water, Trolley 2 has foam, and Trolley 3 has CO2. Our experiment today is to find out which of these engines is going to do the best job of transporting us down this runway. Now, I'm tipping the CO2, so I'll have that one, and the Brainiacs can have the other 2. Losers! That was fantastic and pretty decisive. I think we've established once and for all that CO2 is the best means of powering our trolleys. It is the way forwards. And in this modern age in which we live, the search for alternative means of transport goes on. And we at Brainiac believe it must go on. And so today we're going to be combining the results of this experiment with our desire to move people in new and interesting ways. Join us later as we find out which of these is the fastest thing powered by hot air since Tony Blair's victory speech. Still to come, if you're towing a caravan and you take the wrong turning through a minefield, which is it better to be, tired or wired? And is it better to be fat or thin if you're stuck in a blizzard? We test out pheromone spray in the Brainiac lab. Can the fire brigade crack the world's toughest safe? Will any of our Brainiacs get a hole-in-one?
I was away.
And your chance to play Spot the Junkie. Richard Hammond has to be up early tomorrow, but he can't sleep. He tosses and turns this way and that, but nothing helps. So, should he call it a night, get up and know he'll have to drink coffee all day tomorrow? If he does, he'll spend the day buzzing with caffeine. If he doesn't, he'll be very tired. He'll spend the day in a state of exhaustion. So, what's it best to be? Tired or wired? Brainiac! Yes, tired or wired? That's the question. So here we have two Brainiacs. This one is very tired. He's had pretty much no sleep for 2 days. The medical term is, I think, shagged out. This one is wired. He's been inhaling caffeine and high-energy drinks for 2 days. He's buzzing like a lunatic bee. First, cards. Snap. Who'll be best at that? Well, I suppose it should be Wired Boy. His reactions should be faster with all that caffeine rushing around his system like a Class A drug. But you can lose at this game if you pitch in too fast and the cards don't match. When the game gets underway, it's obvious that Wired has got himself so hyped up, he just doesn't see the matching cards. An overdose of caffeine means he can't concentrate on the game at hand and loses every time. Tired may be slower than usual, but at least he's still on this planet. Snap! Snap goes to Tired, but this next challenge is a tough one for anyone. Right now, Tired and Wired are kneeling, balanced on their exercise balls. Now, that's easy when they've got me to lean on. It's going to be less easy when we fill their bowls with water and I walk away. A pair of mashed-up Brainiacs will really struggle at this. Being really tired reduces fine motor coordination, but that's also true of overdosing on caffeine. The inner ear balance mechanism is very delicate. Muck around with the body's internal chemistry, and that's one of the first things to go. Balancing on a rubber ball with a bowl of water on your head goes to Tired. Last test. We found the sign that says do not operate heavy machinery, and we threw it away. Tired and Wired are going on a caravan assault course. They've got to drive around these cones as quickly as they can without hitting any. Oh, and we've put small bombs in them, just because we can. First up, Tired. Off you go then. Driving when tired is a known hazard. Falling asleep at the wheel is an all too common danger, but the problems go wider than that. Without enough rest, the brain starts to play tricks. Hallucinations kick in as the brain struggles to make sense of the fast-moving world around it. Senses become heightened, alertness dips, coordination fails, and memory loss kicks in.
Come on, come on.
No wonder Tired Boy is making a meal of parking this caravan.
Come to Daddy, come on.
38.5 seconds. Rubbish. Next up, Wired. In you go. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system and increases the stress hormones in the bloodstream, making people feel unnaturally alert. It also subdues the body's natural instinct to relax, causing undue stress and irritability.
This is not good.
Other pleasant side effects of that 20th cup of coffee: muscular tension, nausea, and constipation. But it hasn't stopped Wired Boy from winning the caravan challenge.
That's gotta be a winning time.
23.5 seconds. Maybe he's rushing to get to the bomb. So, Wired won the caravan assault course, but Tired won Snap and balancing on a rubber ball with a bowl of water on your head. Which means, overall, if you've got something on and you need to choose, it's better to be tired than wired.
You may be wondering why I liberated this bottle from the office water cooler. Well, it's because today we're making a rocket. Here are the basic principles. We're going to fill about 1/3 of the bottle full of water so there's something to shoot out, compress the rest of the space with the air using the pump, and we're also going to put some fins on it because it's not the most stable shape in the world, so hopefully these will make it fly better. There we go, one rocket. Now all we need to do is stick some water in it and put the compressed air in as well. Now let's get the compressed air going. Oh, it's getting really hard now. It can't be that far off. Excellent! That worked really well. Classic.
Pub Science, the Brainiac alternative to pub quiz night.
Okay, so I'm going to build you an indoor fountain. What you need, a bit of water, trapped in a fizzy pop bottle, some washing up liquid to trap the bubbles of gas that are going to be produced by these indigestion tablets. You're going to need one of these, John. You better put that up. I know it's bad luck, but it'll be a lot worse luck if you haven't got it up. You better get that in pretty quick. Right. I'm going to get very wet. And we just kind of wait, really. It doesn't usually take this long.
Nobody's gonna.
Let's give it a bit more shake.
I'll tell you what, it's gone very liquid.
Oh, did I put any in? Can I borrow your umbrella?
Science. Go on, get out of this.
Earlier in the show, we established, using science, that CO2 is the best means of powering our shopping trolleys. The other two were left for dead, as they used foam and water to little effect.
Losers!
Throughout the show, we're continuing our experiment to find different ways of moving people using CO2-powered devices. The humble roller skate has been around for years, but you probably haven't seen a pair quite like this. We've rigged them so the CO2 will be expelled from the heels. All our Brainiac has to do is stay upright.
16.2 metres.
So, 16.2 metres with an average speed of 420 metres per hour. Will a modified skateboard perform any better?
Three, two, one.
Too much power and not enough control on its inaugural run, but the second produced a better result.
Metres exactly.
19 metres with an average speed of 380 metres per hour. Further, but not as fast as the roller skates. Next to be tested, a trusty office chair. It's much heavier, so to make things fair, we've fitted it with a twin-cylinder engine.
2, 1. $29.7 metres, and with a blistering average speed of 540 metres per hour, it's our office chair that leads the way. We'll return to the Brainiac test track later in the show to run our final test.
I'm Peter Logan, and this is my exploding paste. When it's wet, it's safe, but when it's dry, it's very unstable.
Logan's paste is made using iodine crystals and one other secret chemical. It's so volatile that when dry, even the movement of a small insect can detonate it. Peter Logan first made his exploding paste while at school after concocting a recipe from an old textbook. Way back then, the only use he found for it was practical jokes. Many decades later, nothing has changed. Back to probability with our Brainiac golfers. They've been hitting golf balls for about an hour, but still no hole in one. We've got money on them to do it, but so far it's not looking good.
Oh!
Meanwhile, try this. If you toss a coin 19 times and it turns up heads every time, what's it most likely to be the 20th time? Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails.
Heads.
I would say heads.
Heads.
Tails. If it's been 19 times, then the next time it'll probably be heads as well.
The answer is either. It's 50-50. Coins can't remember what went on before, and that's why good gamblers don't look back. And why coins are really crap at remembering what they were doing last week.
That's close.
Coming in.
At last, our Brainiacs are getting a bit closer, but the bookies won't pay out unless the small ball actually goes into the small hole. We'll catch up with them later in the show.
Ooh, I tell you what.
On the previous Fat v Thin, we discovered it was better to be big, not bony, as we simulated being shipwrecked at sea. Neither subject was allowed to use their limbs to stay afloat, and our fat guy took the early lead. On this Fat v Thin, we're going to find out if it's better to be under or overweight if caught in a blizzard. Our fat guy weighs 22 stone, and our thin guy just 6.5. Each subject has 4 pieces of paper attached to them. The subject that comes out of the blizzard with the least amount of moisture on the papers will be declared the winner. Our blizzard will last for 5 minutes and stop when the klaxon sounds. All the subjects have to protect themselves and their papers from the elements is a £3 umbrella. The thing that actually kills you in a blizzard is the clinging moisture and exposure to the elements. Wet clothing loses all its insulating properties and takes heat away from the body, resulting in hypothermia and certain death. Close inspection of the paper reveals the thin guy has emerged fairly unscathed. However, Fat Boy's paper has suffered severe damage. If he was in a real blizzard, he'd be chips. Frozen ones, and not fat-free.
Yeah!
Our experiment has shown that in a blizzard, it's better to be tiny than tubby. We've got 4 people, and we know more about them than they do about themselves, because we've tested a sample of their hair. One of them smokes cannabis. Another is being choked by city fumes. Another uses too much antiperspirant. And another doesn't brush their teeth often enough. Did you guess which one uses too much antiperspirant? Yes, James, it's you. We know because we found an excess of aluminium in your hair sample. That comes from the can of your antiperspirant, and you absorb it into your body when you spray your armpits every morning. Who is being poisoned by city fumes every day they go to work? Stand up and be counted, Wendy Mitchell. Your hair sample contained evidence of too much lead. That's doing you no good, you know. Ever thought of retiring to the country to raise pigs? Right, who's the naughty boy or girl who hasn't been brushing their teeth then? Aha! Caught you, Mrs. Edwards. Your hair sample was full of mercury from your many fillings. It's escaping from your teeth into your bloodstream and coming out in your hair. Yes, Christine, you need to think about investing in a brush or get some new teeth. Not hard to guess the last one then, is it?
Yes, it's Spot the Junkie time. Hello, Dottie. Your hair sample told us you've been puffing on the wacky backy. Dottie is in fact the oldest member of the Legalised Cannabis Alliance. A simple test on a sample of hair can tell a lot, so viewer beware. Your hairdresser may know more about you than you really want. Still to come on Brainiac, in our continuing search for alternative fuels, is CO2 the way forward? Is BO a no-no?
Arms up, please.
Or a hello? And one small step for a man. Will Brainiac boffin John Tickle sink or swim in a swimming pool full of custard?
Have you ever seen a really ugly bloke walking around with a gorgeous woman and thought, how? Well, is this the answer? Pheromone spray, available from your local sex shop. Now, it claims to make you irresistible, even if you're a short, fat, ugly bloke with no money and all the personality of an ironing board. But does it work?
This is Julie. Julie is lovely. Julie wants a boyfriend. Which man is right for her? We've got a random selection of 3 fellas for her to choose from, all with their own distinctive smells. Which one will she choose for her blind date?
Arms up, please. And stop sniffing, please. Arms up, please. Arms up, please.
So, Julie has had a nose full of our 3 lads. Which will she choose to be her blind date? The Pheromone boy, the aftershaver, or will it be Mr. Sweaty? The results coming up. First, back to our Brainiac golfers and their probability challenge. They're still trying to get a hole in one, but they're getting tired. They've hit a load of golf balls, got close, but no joy yet. The bookies have offered us odds of 300 to 1 that none of them will do it. So will we lose our beer money?
Yes!
Well, there you go, a hole in one. We are now officially rich. Except, actually, we aren't. Yes, our Brainiacs were so rubbish, we had to fake it. But don't tell the bookies.
Happy? Yep. Okay, lovely.
700 shots and not a hole in one between them. What are the chances of that?
Today, we've been experimenting with CO2 as a means of propulsion by attaching it to various things with wheels.
We've attached canisters to a pair of roller skates, a skateboard, and to the current leader in our test, the office chair, which travelled 29.7 metres, reaching an average speed of 540 metres per hour.
We've got one more vehicle to test in our search for an alternative form of transport that doesn't rely on fossil fuel. This is the twin-cylinder wheelchair.
3, 2, 1.
I burnt my bum!
Not the most promising start to our transport revolution, but it showed enough potential to warrant another go. 29.7 metres is still the distance to beat. No need for tape measures by a country mile. Our experiment has shown that CO2-powered wheelchairs could well be the future of transportation.
Here's one for you. If you took a compass into space, which way would it point?
Back to our blind date. Our lovely lady Julie is ready to choose her new boyfriend just on the basis of his smell from 3 fellas chosen from a cross-section of society. Dell wore the sex shop pheromone spray. Its main constituent is androstenol, a factory-made chemical which mimics men's natural sex hormones. A liberal splashing of it should drive women crazy, but does it? Our other men smell of natural sweat and aftershave. Will they turn her head instead? She's sniffed them all, and now she has to choose her favourite.
Please take your blindfold off. So tell me about number 1.
Well, to be honest, he stunk.
Really?
Yeah.
Stunk of what?
BO, I would say, BO.
Okay. And tell me about number 2.
He smelled nice, a lot better than number 1.
Yeah? And what about number 3?
He was in between. Nice in some areas, a bit stinky in others.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
Okay, who have you chosen to be your blind date for this evening? Number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Oh, it's got to be number 2. Definitely number 2.
Okay, so you've chosen number 2, so let's meet the 2 that you've turned down. Come in, Fabio.
Hi. Sorry.
Come in, Dell.
Hi. Sorry.
And your blind date for this evening is Jimmy from Scunthorpe, and he was wearing aftershave. Come in, Jimmy.
So there it is. Cheap aftershave beats pheromones every time. Splash it all over, boys.
We're the Brownlow boys. That's me, Terry, and this is my boy, Jamie. We've been dealing in safes for 28 years, and this one here is one of the best. So good, in fact, we're putting 200 big ones in it. And if you can crack our safe, the dough's yours. But don't count on getting inside too easy. It's nearly 1 ton of solid steel. The doors are 5.5 inches thick, and it's been specially designed to resist attack from torches and drills alike.
Last time, our team of Brainiacs tried to split the safe open by dropping it from a great height. All to no avail.
It's intact.
This time, it's the turn of 3 guys with over 50 years' experience in the fire service. They'll be attempting to crack the safe using the tools of their trade.
We're going to put the safe into a fire situation, then rapidly cool it with water from the actual fire appliance itself. Hopefully it will expand and contract and give us a better chance to crack it.
First, our firemen reverse their roles and actually start a fire. After letting it heat up and burn, they douse the safe with water. A petrol-powered angle grinder attacked the lower hinge and left its mark, so they then decided to go for the good old-fashioned approach. Apart from the incisions made by the grinder, the only other damage was superficial, and the Brownlow's money is safe. For the moment. Next time, it's bangers and crash as two stock car drivers take the death metal approach. Science tells us that humans can't walk on water. OK, Jesus did it, but he was the Son of God, which gave him an unfair advantage. As for the rest of us, well, we have to obey the laws of physics. Even John Tickle. John can't walk on water because, like all humans, he's too big and heavy to be supported by surface tension and not buoyant enough to float.
But I can walk on custard.
But he can walk on custard. First, let's empty the pool. This swimming pool takes 27,000 litres of liquid. That'll mean we'll need a lot of custard. So we need some heavy machinery on our side.
Nice, this is going to be fun.
Cement mixers and industrial bags of custard powder are the order of the day. So, John, how are you going to walk on custard?
Well, I'm going to take advantage of the properties of custard itself.
Right.
It's what's called a non-Newtonian liquid.
Obviously.
Sometimes it has properties like a liquid, sometimes it has properties like a solid. When I walk across the custard, I'm going to be doing it very quickly and impacting the custard quite hard. And under those circumstances, when you apply pressure, it behaves like a solid, so I shouldn't sink.
So does this work with any custard, then?
As long as you've got corn flour or some other starchy material in it, it should work, yeah.
If you stop, then, you're not stressing it anymore.
Oh, I'm going to sink very slowly like a stone.
Into custard?
Yes.
You can't swim in custard?
Not really, I don't think so.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So John's confident. He trusts his science. The type of custard is important here. It needs to be corn flour based and hence starchy enough to have the qualities John expects. The custard our Brainiacs are making is more industrial than edible. You wouldn't want this served up on your rhubarb crumble. And we need a lot of it. A lot more than we actually ordered.
How much do we need?
Well, I've no idea. I mean, we were told we needed a certain amount.
I'm
We've not even got
for
that.
100 to 200.
Well, let's just get as much
They've
as we
had
can.
delivery today. Hello.
We probably need as much as you've got in stock. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Bye.
At last, the pool is full. The big moment has arrived.
Do you have a bit of a taste, yeah?
Lovely.
Yes, not too sweet, but it's custard.
That is custard. All right, then. Well, if you're ready.
I am.
John Tickle, walk on the custard.
Thank you.
Custard. At rest, a liquid. On impact, a solid. Can it be true? That is amazing! All right, now hang on, prove your theory. What happens when you stop walking about and you stand still? Because according to your theory, I would expect you to start to sink, as in fact you are. That's incredible.
Wow.
The moment you stop, you disappear. Oh, thank you very much. Look, in fact, let me show you. Look, there it is. You keep impacting it. It's solid, and the moment I stop, it's a liquid. It's custard. John, that is incredible, and that proves it. John Tickle can walk on custard. And that should be the end of it. Except, of course, there's the tiny matter of getting John Tickle out, which isn't easy in a non-Newtonian liquid, because the harder you pull, the tighter it grips you.
Go. Slowly, really slowly.
Oh, the slower you go, the easier it's going to be.
Just really slowly.
But slowly does it, and yes, John Tickle lives to Brainiac another day.
Well done.
You've been watching Brainiac, Science Abuse.